let's start with a mini roundtable discussion, which is coming up now. And the topic is related to the retail industry. Wow. Revolutionizing retail, AI, and Web3 technologies transforming the shopping experience. We have our key speakers joining in. Vidisha Debsarkar, she's a head online business and marketing from Finmart Financial Services. Can we have a big round of applause for her and have her on the stage, please? Can we have a big round of applause from there too? All right. We have Silvia Mogas. She's a CEO and founder, blockchain marketing boutique. Can we have a big round of applause for Silvia? And have her on the stage, please. And the moderator, okay, it's Pretty Ladies session. So moderator, Sarah Raslan, she's an assistant projects director, Limestone Building Contracting LLC. Can we have a big round of applause for her and have her on the stage? Due to some reason, Daniel is unable to join the session today. So over to the Pretty Ladies. Thank you.
So hello and a very warm welcome to this very exciting roundtable discussion today, revolutionizing retail, AI and Web3 technologies into transforming the shopping experience. As we enter a new era, Web3 and AI are not just buzzwords. They are redefining how consumers and businesses interact. Today, we're fortunate to have our industry experts with us, explaining what these transformations have for the future and the impact it holds for us. I'm delighted to introduce our incredible speakers. Unfortunately, Daniel Oliver, Azure and AI Director at EY, was unable to join us, but we have Vidisha Debsarkar, Head of Online Business and Marketing at Finmart Financial Services, who holds deep financial expertise in digital marketing strategies. And we also have the incredible Silvia Mogas, CEO and founder of Blockchain Marketing Boutique, who will also discuss with us how secure consumer strategies go along. An applause, please. So to set the stage and start off, I would like to ask each one of you, in your view, what is the most transformative impact of Web3 or AI in today's retail industry? We can start with Silvia.
Okay. Hello everyone. Let me introduce a little bit myself. This is Silvia. My background is mostly in travel and hospitality. In 2019, I decided to quit my job. I moved to Asia. I lived in Indonesia and Singapore there. Is where I started to work in the blockchain space. And after 5 years, I'm running a company, and it has 4 verticals. One of the verticals is the blockchain marketing boutique, and the other vertical is the on-chain experiences, and it's what I'm going to talk a little bit more about today, because we are focusing with the customer and different experiences that this customer can have thanks of blockchain technology. And thank you very much for inviting me today. It is a pleasure to share this panel with these ladies. Thank you.
Thank you so much for the introduction. So if I can just probably quickly give you a very brief answer. So I genuinely feel that AI is literally becoming the backbone for all businesses across industries, not just retail, but across industries. Every single person, every single marketer, every single salesperson, every single CEO is talking about AI. Obviously, every business looks at profitability, right? Everybody wants their revenues to come in, and everybody is looking at more revenues, more profitability. And a lot of people are actually using various tools or various AI interventions to not just improve, optimize their profitability, but also how can they improvise on maybe lead generation, customer acquisition. How can they actually retain their customers? How can they improve stickiness among your customers, which is very important, right? At the end of the day, you need value out of every customer that knocks your door. You have to get maximum value out of that customer. So if I could just give you some examples, we have conversational AI, which pretty much sits in every business today. There are chatbots available. Every chatbot is AI backed, and they not just help in pre-purchase, but they're also helping in purchase decisions. They're also helping in post-purchase services. So literally everywhere. And if I can just give you a small example of how probably AI can actually influence somebody's purchase decision. This is a case study on something that probably I have worked on. So I used to be working with this hospitality business. I was working with a business which had multiple hotel chains. So what we really developed is we were sitting on really large customer data. We took about some 75 parameters, and we were actually able to predict which customer which customer type is more likely to holiday at so-and-so destination at so-and-so hotel, and is more likely to eat this kind of food at the hotel, or is more likely to go outside the hotel and eat food, or is more likely to get his kids to the play area inside the hotel, or is more likely to go to a spa. We were able to predict this basis that we were sending out communication to each customer, personalized communication, predicting already and giving the top 3 options of the most likely things that the person is going to do. So after maybe about 6-7 months of running this entire, this was obviously a pilot run. After running this, we literally saw that the model that we had developed was literally working at almost close to an 87% efficiency, which obviously ticked up the occupancies, and more revenue started kicking in, almost 30% within 60 months. So that's the power of AI, when I talk about profitability and revenue.
I'm going to add something because I forgot to answer the question. I wanted to talk this point, so I'm going to add something on the top. I'm going to add that AI can prevent fraud as well. We can detect bad practices. We can predict that someone is doing the right thing that they used to do, because AI at the end knows more than us. So AI, it's more intelligent than us, so we need to use it. And then, as she said, everyone is using it, and we don't have to be an expert. We don't have to know everything. We need to know how we can improve our day, how we can make our task more agile and be more productive, and use AI as well. And then for companies as well, try to use this technology to fix your problems. I'm a startupper, and when we create startups, we always say, what is the problem? So understand what is your problem and look the solution with artificial intelligence. That would be my tip. Thank you.
Thank you, Silvia. Thank you, Vidisha. Moving on to my next question to Vidisha. As someone who leads online financial business, you've seen firsthand how digital strategies evolve. How do you see AI reshaping the way retailers approach customer acquisition and retention, especially tools like chatbots and recommendation engines?
Okay, so I think it's best explained with examples. So customer acquisition, if I talk about customer acquisition, every business today is struggling with conversions. Is there anybody here who's not struggling with conversions? Please raise your hand. So everybody's, so what we really did is, again, this is a case study, and this is something that I've probably done. We started, so as a compliance, because we come under regulations, right? Because we are a financial services we are a financial service, so obviously we come under heavy regulations, and because of that, we have to record customer conversations, right? Our salespeople talk to a customer, we have to record those conversations, and every single call is recorded. So obviously, on a daily basis, we have almost close to 100,000 calls going out, right? Every single day. Imagine the amount of data that we are sitting on, right? So we all brainstormed and we came up with a solution. We are any which ways recording this. Let's slap a machine learning model on top of the conversations. So these are all voice-based conversations. What we really started doing is we started looking at the conversions, so the converted calls. Once we looked at the converted calls, we started getting some keywords that our sales guys are using. Basis those keywords, okay, we started giving recommendations to our other salespeople. Can you please insert these keywords in your pitch? Once they started inserting the keywords in their pitch, it obviously, things started getting better, but this model is still, it's still at a very, very nascent level, and we're just trying it out. But I guess this is another very, very good example of how there is a possibility that you could use the power of AI to improve your conversions, right? Because this is primarily from an customer acquisition. Then finally, also, building a lot of predictive analysis to actually get to know, because every business today, once the customer is in, you want to make more out of the same customer. And that literally makes more sense, because your customer acquisition cost is always going to be higher, okay, than being able to retain your existing customer. If you retain your existing customer, it's going to cost you much less. So as a business, if you're going to go and hunt more customers outside, it's going to cost you much higher. This is mainly from a B2C perspective. But what AI can do is it can actually predict what are you more likely to do next. What is your more likely purchase going to be? You can cross-sell, you can upsell using AI. And there's like tons of things that you can literally do, because every business sitting on very rich data. You just have to use your data, improve customer stickiness. And I genuinely believe you have to first try and look at your existing client base, existing customer base, and then go for more strategies for new customers coming into your business.
Thank you, Vidisha. I love how you focused on AI and its impact on customer retention, because we all know that customer retention is a great value to our business, as the cost is much more less than going for new customers. Now, moving on to my next question, which would go for Silvia. Silvia, being in Web3 and blockchain are enabling entirely new retail models. Could you share some examples of how blockchain is being used to enhance transparency, security, and customer loyalty?
I would say blockchain technology is helping the supply chain. Supply chain, it has some broken sides that blockchain can help the supply chain make it faster, make it more reliable and more transparent. As we know, and if you don't know, I'm going to tell you, blockchain technology provides security to the transactions. You can do a traceability. You can know what happened to this point to another point, and it's immutable. So no one can change the block, because once a block is created on the chain, it's immutable. So moving forward to how companies can leverage this technology and take in the best. So, for example, we have one example that would be First Goods. For example, the company Borges, you will know. You will not know, because it's a Spanish company. It's an oil company. This company has, olive oil, yeah. It's Borges. It's from my country. I'm from Barcelona. So these guys, what they did is they put a QR code in their bottle, and when you scan it, you can trace all the traceability of this olive it's coming from. Also, a lot of wineries are doing that. Then there are some supermarkets. There is one in Italy, concretely, that you can go there and everything is traceable. So you can see what is the procedence of this. This it's helped a lot to the user, to the end user, to know, okay, this product has not been, they are not selling me oranges from India. These oranges are from Japan. You know what I mean? So you can trust the origin of the different products. On the other side as well, there are many problems. For example, another problem that we have is the logistics in boats. Do you know how many boats in a year are lost in the ocean? And how many insurance money is involved? So with this, we can trust all the boat where it is, and we can see all the items that were inside as well. So we can know that. So it makes at the end to know where is our products, the procedence, and as well, it's not mutable, so we can trust on that. I could share something else, I think. Well, that's fine. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your insights, Silvia. Now moving on to my next question again to Vidisha in financial marketing. So Finmart is in the financial services sector, which intersects with retail. How do you think financial products, when combined with AI, can create new opportunities for retailers to enhance the shopping experience?
So I guess there is very little intersection at this point in time between retail and financial, let me say financial data, okay? Businesses are still restricted to maybe buy now, pay later kind of, which Tabby, Thamara, these kind of platforms are, what they're really trying to do is they are breaking the barriers of affordability, and they're saying, okay, fine, if you don't have so much money now, you can pay in parts, etc. But that's it. I don't see anything beyond that. But I genuinely feel there's a lot of opportunity, and it's really high time that there have to be financial wellness tools that intersect with retail. So if you are a more credit-worthy customer, you need to get better access to maybe better access to a sale that's going live, maybe better access to a parking lot in a mall, for all you know. We have to reward healthy, good financial health also, which people are completely missing the point today. And that is where this intersection can beautifully happen if you can actually marry somebody's credit data, which also includes his purchase history, what kind of products has he bought in the past. So imagine tomorrow you just walk into a car showroom and the guy is showing you, say you go to buy a Mercedes, the person is already saying, sir, because of your credit worthiness, you already have a pre-approved loan on this model that you're looking for, and you can just walk away with this car today. Imagine what a beautiful experience. A person is going to immediately grab the opportunity, but that's not happening today. I think there's time, but this is something that will happen. This is future. And basis your credit worthiness, you will be more privileged than the others. And that could be in any purchase decisions that you make, whether it's a luxury purchase, whether it's just at the grocery store, it could be anything. I think credit worthiness is something that needs to be rewarded, because if you are maintaining a good balance sheet, if you are maintaining a really, really healthy financial chart for yourself, I think it definitely deserves to be rewarded, because not many people are able to do that today.
Thank you, Vidisha, for shedding light on credit worthiness. It's a very important factor in retail and financial services. Again, moving on to the incredible Silvia, with the decentralization of data in Web3. How do you foresee the balance between customer privacy and personalized experiences evolving in retail?
For privacy, we have a technology that is called zero-knowledge proof, that it allows you to do transactions without showing your identity. Before that, you have done a check potentially with your digital ID, and then they know who you are, what are your credentials, and then when you do the transaction with this zero-knowledge proof, the transaction just say yes or no. So you don't have, this protects you, the customer. So protects totally the person who is buying it and doing the transactions. Moving forward as well, I want to put that a little bit with different loyalty and customer systems. If you want, I can do that as well.
Like blockchain-based loyalty programs,
Yeah,
right?
exactly, yeah.
That offer transparency as well.
Yeah, exactly. For example, one of the things that I am working with, and I'm a huge fan, I have to say. Not all the companies, they have to do it, but it's very useful for a lot of them. So, for example, if you are a university and you are doing some lecturing, that in this lecturing, there are 20 lectures, okay? You have to go 20 times to the university. Each time that you go to the university, you scan a QR code and you mint an NFT that provides you that you have been there, your proof of attendance. And then at the end, when you finish, you have the 20 times that you have been there. But imagine that you get a master's when you finish. So you can put this master's as well blocked on the blockchain in the passport. So I call it this a passport. So in this case would be a passport for your university. This should be attached to your ID. And then in this case of the university, you want to show who you are. But imagine that you want to use this passport to...
Like a workflow model.
Yeah, but I'm thinking, for example, if you want to use that, the transactions for Amazon, okay? So if you want to prove that you are, but without showing who you are. So this is going to be your zero knowledge proof, but you could have a reward each time that you are buying as well, without showing who you are.
Okay. Okay,
Makes sense? Or you want to ask me?
Yes, makes sense,
Perfect.
totally. What are some examples of successful blockchain-based loyalty programs, and what lessons can brands take from them?
I've been 3 years always talking about Starbucks Odyssey. For me, was the top project. So Starbucks Odyssey started in the US, of course. I never tried. I'm not in the US. And apparently you could buy different stamps each time that you were having a coffee. And then with these stamps, you were able to do some activities. For example, coffee tastings, and allowed you to have some gamification inside their platform. But what happened? The last year they said that they interrupt this program. For me it was successful, but I didn't know the numbers. So, and this year I saw the numbers, I was like, okay, maybe it makes sense to continue with we call it in Web3 world blockchain, Web2, the traditional space, okay? So for Starbucks was maybe a business vision to go back to Web2. I'm saying that without knowing this, and just because I'm not a person who was working for Starbucks. But as I feel, Starbucks was more interested to put more effort in their traditional loyalty program because it was working than the new one. It doesn't mean that wouldn't work for anyone. So if you go to a company and they put enough effort for the Web3 to promote it, it will work. Also, here there is another terminology. So now I'm starting to say a lot that instead of saying I'm moving companies to Web2 to Web3, let's say the opposite. It's Web3 goes to Web2. So what I mean is, why we don't use Web3 technology to loyalty plans with UX friendly to be able to these Web2 people that don't understand what is a wallet, what is seed phrase, and everything to get access to it. Successful programs, there is another one that is Shell, the petrol station. They are building as well another one. And there's some more. Sephora as well? Yeah. I didn't know Sephora.
In retail, right?
I will check it out. Yeah. What they do?
Yes, so Vidisha, you can share your insights about Sephora and what they do and what are the key challenges in retail intersecting with marketing.
I have not worked with Sephora, but I will only talk as a customer.
Yes, of course. Please go on.
So, what Sephora really does is it obviously influences me a lot, to keep on buying and buying and buying and buying with them. So if I buy this shade of lipstick, what's the next thing that I should buy along with that? So it keeps telling me, and then every time I buy, I also manage to get some freebies So they say, oh, they will offer combos. And they say, okay, if you combine these two products, I will give you this freebie. Probably it could be really small, maybe just a mirror, for all you know. But that's very rewarding, for a customer, because you say that, oh, I'm going to pay for 2 products, but I'm going to get the third one free. And that's the value that they're probably building in. It's the perceived value really, and it's not really the value of the product that they're selling. So I think what they have successfully done is, with those little bit of freebies and those points that I collect, and Sephora also, I think in India, they run this program where I think it's part of their sustainability thing. So say I have bought something from Sephora, and if I am, the used bottle or the used maybe case, if I return it to them, okay, they give me some additional points against it. So that is also something that they're probably using from a sustainability, and they're using that data that, oh, so-and-so person is interested in sustainability, and I can probably pitch this customer eco-friendly products. That's the entire chain that they're trying to build.
But this is not blockchain.
She's talking about
Okay.
retail,
Okay.
about loyalty.
I was like,
Retail.
okay.
Loyalty programs, and
Yes,
it's amazing how Sephora is
And loyalty
managing.
programs, yes, I knew Sephora. I'm a user as well. I said a good one. But I was thinking, right?
No, not
No,
blockchain.
no, okay.
Retail.
It's
Okay,
it's
retail,
more
yeah.
about retail and
Yeah.
about how they focus on upselling, cross-selling, and
yeah.
eco-friendly chain. So another question would be to Vidisha, what challenges do you see AI is imposing on retail? So for example, in the case of chatbots, I personally sometimes face it when I'm buying from an online store. You feel like you're talking to a chatbot, but it does not give you the information that you're looking forward to access, or it does not solve your problem or your complaint. And you just feel like you're just talking to a robot, which sometimes triggers us as humans. And we feel like we do want to talk to a human who can understand us. How do you think this challenge can be solved?
The only way to probably manage this kind of challenge is to keep training your bot better. Keep training, keep pushing more data. Somebody in this world, I'll give you I'll probably give out an idea which can make anybody a billionaire today, probably. So if anybody is able to crack diction, voice notes, languages, for example, in India, every 100 kilometers, the language changes, okay? We have close to 16,000 languages, and every language has its own diction. If somebody is able to actually crack that with AI, I think that person is going to be an overnight billionaire, because he is going to be able to understand everybody. Just the way you are talking today, I'm talking, and you're talking, we sound very different, right? You agree, right? Just this platform, all 3 of us sound very different, but we're talking English, all 3 of us, right? So if anybody can crack this with AI, half of your problem will get solved, because probably what you're trying to talk to the bot is pure English, okay, your version of English, but the bot does not understand your version of the English.
Because they did not feed it with the exact information, it's just the
Right.
list of...
So anybody who can crack this.
Well, I think they can train it a little bit. I have my bots trained with my accent, so they understand me.
No, it will fail.
Yeah.
Some places it will fail. It can't understand your emotions. It can't understand your emotions. So every nationality, for example, every person belongs to a particular place. Everybody has a certain culture. It could be offensive when you talk about something and the bot is replying to you. Maybe it's offensive to your culture. It won't understand that. Maybe it is not offensive to any other culture, right? So it's difficult. So anybody who is able to crack that, it's home.
Can I ask something?
Yes, please go on.
Can I ask something that I feel sometimes I think about this? I would like to understand what is your point of view, girls. Chatbots. Okay, we need chatbots to automatize everything, to make our jobs faster, improve our performance. Fine. I feel that there is a disconnection between the human and the chatbot. So we stop having humans behind your purchase. And for me, it's a bit sad, I have to say. I don't want to, we are going to reach a point that we are going to be all robots, so everything is automatized, and where are the lady that is in front of me is telling me, you look better with yellow instead of red. You know what I mean? What are your thoughts?
Yes, so basically you're focusing and saying that the human touch is different than any AI, and we always need empathy from humans, which makes it. I always say that AI will not take the place of humans. It's rather a support. It will be supporting us in our everyday duties. It will be reducing the amount of manual tasks, amount of manual work, to make us focus on the bigger picture, on the details, and give more from our creativeness, because creativity comes from humans, and AI is basically just what us humans feed it. It gives us the output of what we feed it. So before I open the floor for questions from the audience, I would like to view your point on Vidisha and Silvia. What advice would you give to retailers that wish to use AI and Web3 in the future, especially to go ahead this competitive landscape in retail?
I will focus on Web3, and you can go to the artificial intelligence. So for me, Web3 is to understand the technology and to understand what it can offer to you, and then find if this technology matches with some of your problems that you have, and here's going to be one of the points important. Next, leverage technology to get your customers new experiences, and this is blockchain and Web3 that we can do it, like the passport and gamification. We can have more stickiness of your customer. Remember that, always I say that as well, so it's more expensive to acquire new customers than retain them. And if instead of spending money trying to get more customers, maybe we should spend this money to make our current customers happier. So this would be my advice.
While I understand this entire session has been about AI and how we are probably, talking a lot about what AI can do and what humans cannot do, but I think it's also important to focus on humanizing your AI. In a retail kind of an experience, it's also important to humanize your AI as much as possible, which again as an input is only going to come from a human. Humans are the one who are going to train the AI. Humans are the people who are going to manage and monitor the AI. So it's important to also humanize the AI to a certain level where you said there has to be empathy, there has to be an emotion, there has to be, stories that you need to, a connection that you need to build, which is important. So if you have to put in some effort, and I think all retailers should do it. While profitability, revenue, everything is important. You're pushing, you're being very, very salesy as an organization, but being very connected with your customers is extremely important. So you should not overly rely on AI to do things for you, but you should also try and humanize the experience for your customers, because at the end of the day, you would really love talking to another human rather than talking to another AI. So that's my advice.
Thank you, Silvia. Thank you, Vidisha, for sharing your valuable insights from your expertise. It is clear that AI and Web3 are not just technologies, they are catalysts in this new era. For now, I would like to open the floor for any questions from the audience, so please feel free.
Anyone?
Any questions?
All right, Cynthia.
So I have a question for Vidisha as well as one for Silvia. I'll ask you first, Vidisha. So you mentioned about something that really spoke out to me was about someone having good credit score and being able to purchase better and having that accessibility increase because of the good credit. But I was just thinking as like a business point of view, you obviously don't restrict anyone with low credit to not be able to purchase something, right? So business goals wise, you want to gain revenue, hit higher numbers, on and on and on. But I wonder how that would come into friction with, the kind of the goals that you mentioned in being able to serve the customers or being able to have better purchasers in that way. So wanted to get your thoughts on that, yeah.
Yes. So I'll explain this with an example. So I come from India. Okay, we are 130 billion. What population do we have? 1.3 billion population. Okay, for us as Indians, it's important that we have such a large population. Okay, that customers keep on coming back, and that's not really we are a self-run economy almost. But for example, when I moved to UAE and I realized that I don't have, that is not even my 1/10 of the user base that I was actually marketing to back in my country. So that is where creditworthiness becomes more important, right? You are going behind quality of customers rather than quantity of customers because you don't have that kind of a base, right? Your universe is so small. In India, your universe is 1.3 billion. Here it is 10 million. How will you define better customers? That's the only way, right?
Yeah, that totally makes sense. Thank you for sharing. One for Silvia is basically about data, because I think when it comes to AI, being able to train it with the right data, but also quality data is very important. So a lot of the companies are focusing on data collection in the best way. So I do think like it's really the future with blockchain being adopted more. How would that actually come into place with like data collection as well?
You have different tools to track the different transactions in the blockchains. So you can know the wallets that interact with the other wallet, for example, buying some NFTs. So, and then you can point these wallets and target them, for example, with an airdrop and offering them a discount. So yeah, it's another paradigm. I have to say, this is very Web3, but if I am in a Web2 conference today, and my point of view is Web3, it's very tech, and it's all this technology, it's much, much high level that I'm explaining. But the future is to simplify everything. So I envision that we are going to be able to do what I just described without knowing that we are interacting with the wallets. This is my vision.
Got it, thank you.
So my question is for Silvia. So I'm more at a dilemma as a marketer and as a consumer. I'm wearing different hats and my viewpoint is very different. Maybe it's incorrect, so you can correct me. So when it comes to Web3, we have been hearing for a very long time that Web2 is dead. And there is another subset of audiences which says that Web3 is a solution to a problem that does not exist now, outside of cryptocurrency, etc. During the pandemic, we saw every second company coming up with an NFT or avatar. It started with Adidas and Nike, and then everyone, even my company, Bibendum, Michelin, we created a Bibendum. Some people in Europe, they collected it, they thought it would sell in millions. Half of them are dead now. So it was not our core business model, but it's happening out there. So do you think that right now Web3 also needs a mass adoptive use case that would help it proliferate more? Thank you.
I think I understand well the question. If I don't answer you properly, ask me again, please. So for me, the focus, my background is I studied in university, I have some masters, and I try to always do the right, I come from a corporate world, so I try to do the things with a strategy behind and putting value to my company. Now I'm an agency, so I'm helping business to do this, no? To bring this value, the blockchain, to their business. Fine. here looks like that I'm going to have a strategy, I'm helping them the best way I can. On the other side, we have Web3. Web3 people, they are different players, from institutionals, startups, the big builders, and the core people that they are building with amazing tools, amazing technology, and it's going to be our future. But also, remember that cryptocurrency is on the top of blockchain. Cryptocurrency, it's part of my ecosystem. And in cryptocurrency, half of people, for not saying more of this half, are speculators. At the end, everyone wants to make money with crypto. So here we need to find a balance, and I think we will have, once we have more regulation, between the speculation part that we need to launch a token, we need to launch an NFT collection, but then here is the job of everyone who is going to buy that, to know which game are they playing. If you want to invest in a meme coin, you know that you are investing in a meme coin. So it's your game. If you invest in Bitcoin, Ethereum, you're investing in another kind of asset. It's your game as well. And then if you are investing in projects that you believe with the founders, you believe in their roadmap. So for me, it's maybe the key thing to help the ecosystem. But as well is in gambling, right? So it is not Web3, it's Web2. So you need to know what is gambling, what are the risks, and decide what you choose. This was answering your question.
Yeah, so I have a quick question. So how do you anticipate the role of AI and Web3 evolving in the next 3 to 5 years within retail? And what steps should retailers take now to prepare for these changes? Anyone?
How I see in 5 years retail in artificial intelligence and Web3. So I think artificial intelligence will be everywhere. I think we will find more automatized the supply chain, the retail. Users will be more used on that, and they are only wanted to use this from 5 years now, because they will feel that it's faster and cheaper. And then about Web3, we are working hard to bring Web3 to Web2, to lose these barriers of entrance. So I envision that most of the main companies will adopt this technology in different ways, from the supply chain to track the different transactions, or on the other side for loyalty on marketing side.
In my view, if I was to just put in a very, while I don't even know what I will eat tomorrow, but I will still tell you what I think what will happen after 3 to 5 years. Maybe it may happen, not happen. I think a lot of mindless, brainless spending, mindless, brainless buying will actually happen. Because if today, when we are going to purchase anything, we make a checklist in our mind, right? That this is my checklist. If I don't tick all the boxes, I will not buy. Or maybe if I tick 8 of those 10 boxes, I will buy. But what AI is doing today is actually influencing you. Before you need sugar in your house, they already tell you that, oh, I have ordered sugar for you because your sugar is over. So that is what is going to really happen. So I feel it's slightly scary to me. But let's see what happens.
Thanks for the wonderful answers. So
Can we have a big round of applause for the key speakers and our moderator, Sarah?
So can we have a quick group photograph of the panelists?
So let's have a group fee.
will ask Mitali to present certificate of participation to the speakers. So first is Vidisha Debsarkar. Can we have huge round of applause for Vidisha? So next we have Silvia Mogas. Come on guys, huge round of applause for Silvia. And at last, moderator of the session, Raslan.